I just want to say, don't let the conservatives hear this, okay? So please don't clip my stream or anything. But man, it's really worrying me how effective and good all of these insanely weird and creepy sexist and racist attacks are that conservatives are making. I think that this is going to be the thing that carries them over the finish line. I don't know if the Democrats can win if conservatives keep talking about tampons and whether or not Kamala's really black. I feel like these are really, really, really effective forms of attack that conservatives are doing, and man, whoof.
So Kamala just picked Tim Walz as her running mate in 2024 election. And here is Destiny's first reaction. Listen to this.
Hi, this is Tim.
It's Kamala Harris. Good morning, Governor.
Good morning, Madam Vice President.
Listen, I want you to do this with me. Let's do this together. Would you be my running mate and let's get this thing on the road?
I would be honored, Madam Vice President.
Oh my God. I don't think this is real. How do they already have the video camera at his house? I bet this was staged.
The joy that you're bringing back to the country, the enthusiasm that's out there, it'll be a privilege to take this with you across the country.
Well, let me tell you, I have just the utmost respect for you. I have really enjoyed our work together. You understand our country. You have dedicated yourself to our country in so many different and beautiful ways. And we're going to do this. We're going to win. And we're going to unify our country. And
you know what the rule they should have? A law they should make? For no good reason, just to fuck with people and to fuck with the country. It should be an FEC regulation that when you go to run for president, the only possible way you are ever allowed legally to choose your vice president is you have to pick who you want, who you think would be a good VP, and you have to propose it to them in public. You have to get down on one knee. You have to open a box that says, "Will you be my VP?" Just so we can have those moments. Not for any practical reason, but just because why the f not? It would be funny. Straight guys with bi partners for Harris Waltz. Why? This is a meme, right? You have any thoughts on Harris picking Tim Walz as her running mate? I was really hoping for Mark Kelly. So between Kelly, Waltz, and Shapiro, I'm going to be honest, I haven't done much reading. Just from the very, 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 like, bouncing off of the news cycle and reading, like, just headlines and tweets and sentiments or whatever, it seems to me like the Democrats had a good problem and that there were a lot of viable VPs to pick from that a lot of people liked in different ways, that whether it was any of those three or even anybody outside of that like the Democrats seem to have like an abundance of like, oh, yeah, sure, this, yeah. As opposed to the Republicans where, holy fuck, Vance doesn't seem to have been a good pick so far. I don't even know who a good pick would have been. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't have a strong feeling about it, but.
So Republicans are already attacking Tim Walz and making weird Tampon Tim comments. Curious what's it all about? Destiny dives deeper. Listen to this.
Vice President Kamala Harris announced Minnesota Governor Tim Walz as her Democratic running mate. Walz's previous legislative action requiring all Minnesota public schools to offer free menstruation supplies in both boys and girls' restrooms has sparked criticism. Is it because of in boys' restrooms, or is it because conservatives hate reproductive health? Were there tampons in the girls' bathrooms and he tried to expand it to the boys' bathrooms, or were there no tampons at all and he wanted to make them available in the boys' and girls' bathrooms? Which one is it here? Oh my God. This language is so inoffensive. Seriously? A school district or charter school must provide students with access to menstrual products at no charge. The product must be available to all menstruating students in restrooms regularly used by students in grades 4 to 12, according to a plan developed by the school district. By the school district. For purposes of this section, menstrual products means pads, tampons, or other similar products used in connection with the menstrual cycle. So each district would have been able to do this, right? Does this end up getting passed, or Office of the Reviser of Statutes, the Minnesota legislature? As much as I've read all the legal shit and everything else, these websites and the legislative sites and everything are so hard to read. I wish this stuff was more accessible. I wish it was more immediately understandable. Let's see, HF 2497. Okay, so I'm guessing governor's action approval means that the governor signed it into law because it was passed by the legislature. Secretary of State Chapter 55 means that the Secretary of State has now added it to the legal code of the state or whatever, I'm guessing. And then the effective date is when all the different provisions go into effect. Okay. So So what's happened? It seems fine. Did anything bad happen? Were kids like killing themselves with tampons or? My dad is a 6th grade teacher and has to deal with little boys asking if they can go into the girls' bathroom if they say they are a girl. Unnecessary problem. I don't believe you. I just don't believe you. I don't believe it. I don't believe that.
So now that Democrats picked a VP, Destiny gives Trump some ideas on who he should have picked instead of weird JD Vance. Listen to this.
Who would actually be a good vice president pick for the Republicans? The problem is that you don't have the Republicans. It's the party of Trump now. So you're in a really weird space. Before, when Trump ran in 2016, you still had a Republican party. So Trump was a very unconventional pick, but he could shore up his base, his evangelicals and his traditional conservatives with Pence. It made sense. I think that ticket, in my mind, that ticket made sense, I think. But now you don't really have a conservative party anymore. So when you talk about like, well, who does Trump need to pick as a vice president? Honest to God, you honestly want to know, can anybody guess who I think? I'm going to give you a very unpolitically informed take. You know who would have been the best pick for Trump's VP? Oh, somebody in chat half said it. Oh, no, yeah, okay, yeah. Somebody said mini Trump. True, he should have just chosen Donald Trump Jr. He should have just chosen Trump Jr. He should have chosen his son, one of his sons. I think that probably would have, honest to God, I think that probably would have been the best choice. They do politics pretty similarly. They're like shameless. They've got the family name. Conservatives won an emperor dynasty anyway. Like, yeah, I think they should have done that. You'd feel good about like Trump is getting old and aging out, but his son's right here to take up the reins. Yeah.
These are weird ideas. Listen to them speak. Listen how they talk about things. Told them that they shouldn't talk about race.
Like, how did this flip so much? Because remember, this was the issue that Hillary ran into before, right? When she called them all deplorables. And somehow the narrative like 180'd on conservatives here because they were just so negative. But I think also, I feel like it plays a little bit into, Trump could run on Make America Great Again the first time because people were unhappy. But how do you run on Make America Great Again after you've already had the presidency for 4 years? Maybe that's why it went more negative, because it doesn't really make sense. You have to be negative at that point to explain why you failed, like every populist has to be. Like, why did I fail? And then you have to blame other people, and it gets really ugly and gross. Deplorables was a bad word. Weird just hits. Well, it's not so much the fact that it's not the word choice. It's that when you call people a name, like a deplorable or whatever, you're implying the person is bad because of who they are. But I think when he's calling people weird here, you're implying that they're bad because of how they're acting.
Trying to tell us they understand who we are. They don't know.
Bays, that's a Destiny viewer right there. Good job. Yes, you can take my talking points.